Cameron, we'll be getting started. If I could ask everyone, I'm looking at you, Dale Woodard, to mute yourself so that we don't pick up background noise. Thank you. And the last person that we were waiting for just joined our call. All right, so we have a proud tradition at Curling Canada of starting our news conferences on time, so we're going to keep going right now. Just got a note from Eloise. Everybody's mics should be muted, and we will get started. My name is Al Cameron. I'm the Director of Communication and Media Relations for Curling Canada, and I'm really thrilled to have all of you with us virtually and online. It's going to be a great news day for the city of Lethbridge, and I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. I'm going to turn it over to our board chair, the chair of the Curling Canada Board of Governors, Mr. Mitch Minkin, to make a significant announcement.
Thanks, Al. Well, I'm just a few hours east of you in Swift Current, and having gone through a few of these announcements myself, I know what an awesome day for the sport of curling this truly is in Lethbridge. It's my pleasure to be here representing Curling Canada's Board of Governors and to be able to share some special news. I'm sure it's safe to say that there are quite a few people in the room or virtually here who have been looking forward to this announcement for an awfully long time. So I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. It is my privilege to announce that the NMAX Center in Lethbridge will host the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier. Having been part of some championship bids in the past, I have firsthand knowledge of the amazing amount of work that goes into presenting a winning bid for the Tim Hortons Brier. And it's pretty obvious this was the case in Lethbridge. So I'd like to acknowledge some of the people who made this announcement possible. We've had some wonderful partners and friends at Tim Hortons who've been working with us for more than 15 years now. It's a special partnership in every sense of the word, and I want to make sure you all realize how supportive Tim Hortons has been of our events, our athletes, and our sport in general. Their commitment goes beyond just putting their name on the event, and it's truly appreciated. His Worship Mayor Chris Spearman is online with us, and it was hardly a surprise to see Mayor Spearman and the city of Lethbridge so eager to bring the Tim Hortons Brier to their great city. Thank you, Your Worship, and our sincere thanks go to the great people at Tourism Lethbridge for everything they did to make this happen today. One of the great benefits of hosting an event like the Tim Hortons Brier is the amazing exposure for the host city and province. 70 hours of live coverage on TSN, and that's why governments see such value in supporting our events. We'd like to thank Nathan Newdorf, MLA for Lethbridge East, for being with us today. And Nathan, please pass on our thanks to Premier Kenny and the province of Alberta. One of the best things about announcements such as today is the opportunity to tell people about the inspiring work being done by curling's provincial and territorial member associations. Curling Alberta works hand in hand with Curling Canada to help grow the sport of curling, and not just in this province, but across the entire country. I'd like to thank Curling Alberta Executive Director Jill Richard for her tireless efforts on behalf of curling and her support of the Lethbridge bid. Finally, the Lethbridge Bid Committee put in some long days and nights on the bid proposal, and that work paid off because we just couldn't say no. I know how hard you've worked. I also know how rewarding today feels. My congratulations to all of you, and I know you're just itching to get to work and make the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier a success in every sense of the word. Again, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in 2022.
Many thanks for that, Mitch, and obviously our sincere congratulations to everyone in Lethbridge for making this happen. As some of you may know, I used to be a reporter at the Calgary Herald, and I covered a lot of curling events in Lethbridge. And I was thinking about it just now. I think I've probably seen more curling games at the NMAX Centre than any other arena in Canada, having been there for a couple Scotties, for a World Women's Championship, the World Men's Championship, and now finally that Tim Hortons Brier coming in there. And it's just a superb facility, and I'd really like to throw a shout out to the NMAX Centre for everything they do to help our event. And also, one of the big things about hosting a Tim Hortons Brier is it's in March, and that's that stretch run to the playoffs. And I know the Lethbridge Hurricanes are very graciously allowing us to come into the building. And I'd really like to throw our sincere thanks to the Hurricanes for helping making that work. I know Terry Hausman, the General Manager of Business Operations, is on with us today. Thank you very much, Terry, and our sincere thanks to the entire organization. We mentioned the city of Lethbridge, and we know they just love having our events in the city. And a big reason is it comes from the top down. And I'd really like to thank His Worship Mayor Chris Spearman for his support, and I'd like to offer him a chance to say a few words on behalf of the city. Your Worship.
Thank you very much. We're really excited about this, and we'd like to thank Curling Canada, Al, Mitch, everybody who's been given us the opportunity to again showcase the city of Lethbridge. We've invested in curling in our city, and we've had a great history of curlers leaving our city, and we think the future is even brighter. We've hosted the Alberta High School Curling Championships in our new curling facility at the ATB Centre. We continue to promote curling in our city, and we think curling has a great future in Canada and in the city of Lethbridge and in the province of Alberta. This is going to give us a chance to showcase our city, how we build on curling and how we invest in curling and how we inspire others to be part of the sport. I would be remiss. I need to say thanks so much to our Lethbridge Curling Club for having the energy, the enthusiasm, putting together an excellent bid. And we have wonderful volunteers in our city who will support this. We've had a number of national and international curling events, as you have noted, and they've all gone really, really well and had great community support. So we're looking forward to this. We're so excited. We can't wait till March of 2022. And thank you to everybody who's been part of this. It's going to be a tremendous success.
Thank you so much, Mayor Spearman. You're right. I can't wait till March of 2022 as well. It's interesting. There's a lot of talk, obviously, focusing on what's going to transpire just a couple hours up the road in Calgary over the next couple months as we hold the 2021 Scotties and the 2021 Tim Hortons Brier, among other events. But what's great about the sport of curling and the Season of Champions events is there's so much focus right now on events beyond 2021. And I can tell you that the competition to host the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier was fierce. And I'd really like to acknowledge all the other bid cities that did put in their bids to host the Tim Hortons Brier. We truly appreciate the enthusiasm that all of these cities have shown, and we encourage them to keep on bidding because, as Mayor Spearman knows, these events bring a lot of positivities to a city, not to mention a lot of money as well. So that's a big reason why those cities did bid. We talk about the support from the city. The support from the province is significant, and it's a really big deal to know that the province of Alberta is on board with us. And to bring greetings from the province of Alberta, I'd like to introduce Lethbridge East MLA Nathan Newdorf to bring some comments from the government of Alberta. Nathan?
Thank you. I appreciate that. As the mayor said very well, we are so excited and thankful for Curling Canada to award the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier to Lethbridge. And I want to congratulate Kirk Mearns and the entire Lethbridge Curling Club for all the work that they did, Tourism Lethbridge for their help in that. We are extremely proud of our city. We're proud of our region, and so excited to be able to host this. We all know 2020 has brought us significant challenges. There's so many things that we've had to deal with and work through and literally fight through. So to be able to look forward to this bright light and future hope in 2022 is really a huge boost, not just to our economy, but to our people in general. And we're very excited to be hosting that. We look forward to the event. Having seen some of those events that have happened in Lethbridge before, it brings such an excitement to the entire city. We gather together the volunteers who help drive and host and travel. Our restaurants step up, and it's just an incredible unifying force for the entire community. We look forward to that. Thank you, everybody, for all that you've done to make this successful. And we do thank all the other cities that put in their bids as well. Canada is a terrific country, and it is just so fun to host the nation in events like this. So thank you very much, Al.
Thanks, Nathan. And while we're thanking people, I'd also like to thank Shannon Phillips, the MLA for Lethbridge West, for joining us on the call today. Shannon, I'm sure we'll see you in the stands at the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier. Really thank you for your support as well today. You know, one of the big questions that goes hand in hand with an announcement such as today's is how do I get involved? How do I buy tickets? Right now, I can tell you that ticket plans will be announced later this year. I believe our ticketing manager, Andy Henry, is on the line. Andy, nod your head if that's true. We'll be announcing those ticket plans later this year. So keep an eye out on Curling Canada's social media channels, as well as curling.ca, for those kind of announcements. And volunteers, the same kind of thing. Those announcements will be rolled out in the next weeks and months. And we know Lethbridge is going to step up and support this event, not only by buying tickets, but also for volunteering their time, because that's one of the great benefits of a Curling Canada Championship is the whole community can get involved, which is really exciting. You know, we talked about the challenges of this current year, and what's been great from our perspective at Curling Canada is that our 14 member associations have just been absolute troopers in working hand in hand with us to make sure that our championships go forward, but also that there are safe environments for curlers to get back to when this pandemic is dealt with. And one of those troopers really is Jill Richard, the Executive Director of Curling Alberta. I'd like to offer her the chance to say a few words about today's announcement. Jill?
Thanks, Al. I appreciate that. It really is my privilege to express Curling Alberta's excitement and to extend our gratitude to all of the partners who will play a role in bringing the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier to Lethbridge next season. There really is no denying that these are challenging times for all of us, but I do agree that this event will represent a light at the end of the tunnel. I think it will provide us with a beacon of inspiration as we move into the future, and hopefully a time when we can be together again to celebrate our sport and the resiliency of all of us. I definitely want to acknowledge the bravery and the dedication of those to continue to believe in this event in the midst of such uncertain times. So to the people who will bring it all to life, you know, including the City of Lethbridge, the host committee, and the members of the Lethbridge Curling Club, the staff of the ADMAC Center, and the many, many devoted volunteers, we know that this event will be hosted with both gratitude and pride. There will be a tremendous amount of work that will be poured into hosting this event, and your dedication through all of it is deserving of our highest appreciation. We know that you'll set us a shining example and provide the best possible experience for our fans and our curlers. Of course, to the province of Alberta, you know, it's obvious that you recognize the positive impact that our sporting events, both big and small, have on sport development and tourism while allowing our athletes to compete at home. So we thank you for your support. Of course, to Curling Canada, we're thankful for the opportunity to welcome the country's best curlers to our province. Of course, we wish our Canadian curlers a safe and successful journey to the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier, and we look forward to seeing you all in Lethbridge next season. I'm sure that the event will be a glowing example of inspiration in action. Thank you.
Many thanks, Jill. You know, I mentioned I've been to Lethbridge an awful lot of times over the years for these major championship events. I make that short walk over to the Lethbridge Soccer Center to check out the patch for, you know, professional viewing purposes, research purposes only. But that's a great facility over at the Lethbridge Soccer Center, and I know they're going to be on board with us for that Tim Hortons Brier as well. One of the reasons that I can speak fondly of my trips to Lethbridge are the people that have put on these great events over the years, not only at the NMAX Center, but over at the Lethbridge Curling Club as well. I was there for the 2017 World Mixed Doubles and World Seniors, and it's just a marvelous facility run by marvelous people. And those people are really heavily involved in today's announcement, because they will be taking the reins on organizing this event over the next year and a bit. And I'd really like to acknowledge the two of the vice chairs, and they will be speaking on behalf of that host committee. Mike Mulroy and Kirk Mearns. A little inside knowledge: Kirk has known me longer than anybody in this room. When I started my newspaper career in 1986 in Nanaimo, he was the ad manager there. So I know Kirk and I go way back, and I know what he and Mike are capable of, and it's going to be a great show. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike and Kirk to speak on behalf of the host committee.
Thanks, Al. Kirk and I began the bid process to host this Brier back in January of 2020. The realization that we could host this Brier, though, really took shape on about the second day of hosting the World Men's Championships in the spring of 2019. The energy and excitement surrounding that event, once we got going, had us talking about bringing the Brier to Southern Alberta before that event had even ended. The announcement today is just a culmination of years of successful hosting of events, recruiting, maintaining a solid core of our volunteers and grooming directors that help instill confidence in all the curling associations that we can not only host major events, but we can excel at it. I'd like to thank the members of our bid committee for your vision and your efforts in helping form this bid. We put this bid together pre-COVID initially, and then had to hold the reins on this bid through some very trying times. And I'd just like to thank everybody for sticking to it, for never wavering, and for bringing this thing home. Special recognition goes to Becky Little, events manager at the MAC Center, who had the job of pulling all of our thoughts and our ideas and our dreams of the committee into a successful presentation. And I can assure you this was no small feat. I'd also like to recognize Lethbridge Hurricanes organization, who from the first mention of the Brier immediately threw their support behind us. Hockey teams adjust schedules all the time when these events are hosted, and WHL teams in this past year have had more than their fair share of uncertainty, and we really, really appreciate their support. Lastly, I need to thank the Lethbridge Curling Club Board of Directors, its members, and staff for supporting our vision. We have a great group guiding our curling club, and our members never, ever fail to answer the call to become a volunteer to make these events successful. Given the challenges of the past year and those we have yet to face, we can't wait to put on a show for the nation by hosting one of our sport's most prestigious championships. Hosting the Brier puts Lethbridge in rare company, with very few other cities in this nation to have hosted all of the major national and world curling championships events, and we cannot be more proud to do so. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Mike. I just want to add how exciting of a day it is. One that our committees worked very hard to make happen. To see Lethbridge host the Brier, for me personally, is very exciting, and for the city of Lethbridge, it's a major achievement. We do hope that we expand this excitement for this to become a 360-degree celebration. It includes everybody in Lethbridge and the region to celebrate 2022 and to move along. I really want to thank Curling Alberta for their support through this process. President Steve Young and his board have been an enthusiastic partner since we first contacted them well over a year ago to let them know what we were up to. I also want to thank Curling Alberta Executive Director Jill Richard for everything she did to help us with the bid and everything she has done for curling clubs in Alberta through these strange times. Jill is always just a phone call away. When you're a club manager, as I am in my full-time job, Jill sometimes gets the brunt of our frustration, but she should also get the applause that she deserves. She's worked very hard for curling in Alberta, and thank you, Jill. Really want to thank Curling Canada for once again entrusting Lethbridge with a major championship. We've hosted Scotties, World Men's, World Women's, has been said. Adding a Brier is a very special moment for all of us. I want to thank Catherine Henderson and Danny Lamoureux, Gordon McNabb, Mitch, and the Board of Governors for your faith in our ability to deliver a world-class event in Lethbridge. I also have to mention my old friend and former colleague, Al Cameron. That's about all I can mention. It was the 80s, so we'll leave it at that. Finally, I have to thank the City of Lethbridge, Mayor Spearman, and Council for their commitment to this endeavor. We stood before them in the middle of a, sorry about that. We stood before them in the middle of a pandemic as they were wrestling with big questions of the physical and financial health of our community. Their capacity to see the Brier as an opportunity that will benefit all of Lethbridge was inspiring to us at the Lethbridge Curling Club and the bid committee. Thank you, Mayor Spearman, and all councillors for your complete and unwavering support. And I just want to finish by saying how excited we are to bring the Brier to Lethbridge, and it's going to be a blast. Thank you.
Thanks, Kirk and Mike. I'd be remiss, by the way, right now, Kirk just mentioned his name, but Gord McNabb, our old friend and colleague, right there in Lethbridge. He retired from Curling Canada, still doing a little bit of contract work, but really one of the hardest workers on behalf of the sport of curling over the years. And I am positive Gord will be having you front and center at the NMAX Center next year. And I just wanted to say on behalf of all of us at Curling Canada, thank you for all your work on behalf of Curling Canada and the sport of curling over the years. So that's just about it for the formal part of the announcement today. Really, really cool news. Now, to the media people gathered, you should notice at the bottom of your screen, there's a little icon that says raise hand. That will indicate to me if you would like to ask a question. And once you do, once I unmute you, if you could please identify yourself and your affiliation. All the people that spoke today are available for interviews. I note also our Chief Executive Officer, Catherine Henderson, is with us today if you have any questions for her as well. So please raise your hand, or if you feel better about just putting your name and affiliation in the chat window to let me know if you have a question, that is fine as well. But I will now open the floor for questions from the media. I am seeing no raised hands so far. Come on, Dale, you can ask a question. No, you're good? Well, there you go, folks. That was a very neat and tidy announcement today. I really appreciate all of you showing up today. If you have any questions to follow up, feel free to text me or shoot me an email. You all know where to get me. And I really, again, thank you for the support of today's announcement, as well as the support of the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier. Can't wait to get back to Lethbridge, and congratulations to all of you. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and stay safe.